Sisters and brothers, again, we want to thank everybody. It does show, Vanessa fought in the court, wrote all these briefs for 2 years, and couldn't get them to come down for one day. But the minute the people started mobilizing, they heard we're having a rally, and we sent out a listserv all over the country about what was happening to Mr. Morris. And they were getting flooded with calls and emails. The minute they started feeling the heat, the banks felt they had to respond. And that shows a lot. The people right now are feeling demoralized, but really it's the banks that are on defensive. And if people start waking up and fighting back, we can win a lot of victories. Every block needs an organization to stop. Look around us, but look at the home next to Mr. Morris. They needed us too. And we need to be out there. We need to be organizing block by block. Our group's been fighting for a moratorium on foreclosures for over 3 years now. We raised to the governor that why doesn't she use her executive authority to declare a moratorium on foreclosures? There's a precedent for it in the 1930s. For 5 years, the banks could not foreclose. But the key thing that we understood is the moratorium in the 1930s wasn't given by the beneficence of any government, and the good decision from the Supreme Court wasn't because anything. It was because people were organized. And they had unemployed councils on every block. And when they tried to take a home, like Mr. Morris's home, the neighbors mobilized and they stopped it. And that's why we got to get back to that. We got to get back to the real kind of grassroots organizing that could stop this epidemic of foreclosures. If anything, it's wild. Vanessa and I go to court on this issue, and we're finding the courts are getting worse on the issue. You'd think these judges would be more sympathetic, but they're getting worse on the issue because all they're taking is the mortgage company's side. Right now, the government, where are they at? Every foreclosure right now, most of the homes now are backed up by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac or HUD. They're backed up by the government, who's paying these companies full value for these mortgages, then tossing the people out of their homes. Why isn't the federal government declaring a moratorium on foreclosures? Instead of bailing out the banks, bail out the people and let people get their homes for what they're really worth and stay in their homes. We can win this. During a social forum, we met people from all over the country that were interested in what we've been doing, came to workshops, we networked together, and we're going to form a national network to fight foreclosures. We were in touch with people in North Carolina that would have been out there in front of Home Act in North Carolina. They don't have an office here, but they have an office in North Carolina, and that's what we need to build. And we're going to keep building this national movement to fight against foreclosures as part of the fight for jobs. It's part of the saying that people have a right to jobs, they have a right to housing, they have a right to education. We're tired of these banks destroying our cities. In Detroit right now, people are aware that, the casino tax dollars here, the casinos were supposed to save our city. You know where those casino tax dollars go? They don't even go into the general fund. They go to a trustee to pay off the bank's debt service from the city. School finance, the school aid, where it goes, 80% of school aid doesn't even go to the schools. It goes to a trustee to pay off the banks who own the debt on the schools. It's ridiculous what's going on. The banks control everything. They control everything along with the Pentagon, who wages wars all over the country to maintain that control. It's up to the people to say, we're going to stand up. We have a right to housing. We have a right to education. We produce the wealth of this country, not a bunch of criminal bankers. And we need to take that wealth back, take back the homes, and make sure that everybody's right to a decent living and what's supposed to be the richest country in the world is enforced. So power to the people, bail out the people, not the banks.
All right. Stop foreclosures and evict. That's right.
We're going to win. And this shows we can win. This is a small example. People feel powerless now. But what did it take? After all, it took a few days to mobilize, and we won this victory. We can win victories like this over and over again because right now there are a lot more of us than there are of them. We just got to mobilize and organize, and when we do it, we will win, and we will win this battle to save homes, to keep people in their homes, to win a moratorium on foreclosures, and to win again the right to a job, education, housing, and everything that's needed.
Back in the Depression, farmers held the line. When the bank came for an auction, together they'd combine. They knew that when divided, they could never win. But they stood shoulder to shoulder, didn't let the bankers in. They stood shoulder to shoulder. That's how they kept their farms. If one of them was threatened, it was for all to be alarmed. They said this was their land and they'd help each other stay. That's how they kept their farms, that's why the bankers went away, 'cause the union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. Back in the Depression, there was not enough to eat, but the union of the unemployed was in the driver's seat. If the cops did an eviction, took the bed and put it out, the neighbors would carry it in, sing a song and shout, the union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. I can hear him talking, you've got to look at the long view. Back in the Depression, almost everybody knew competition was so great, why don't they do it with themselves? Instead of buying off the Congress and ruling by cartel, the union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. During the Depression, people fought and won back then. Now the battle's global and it must be won again. They will try to divide us, but even on the darkest day, when I listen closely, I hear a billion people say, the union makes us strong. The union makes us strong. The union makes us